And now we look into the fundamental communicator characteristics. Communicator means the speaker. So in order to we understand, in order to do some persuasive communication, it's not only about context, it's about the person who says the message, the content, the context, and the person who we are dealing with. So the characteristics of communicator, we refer to three important characteristics. The first one is authority, the second one is credibility, and last one is social attractiveness. So each of these build or develop the communicator to become persuasive enough in order to make sure that the persuasion that they intend to do will be successful. So authority, what do we mean by authority? Authority is about the power that is belonged to the speaker. So it influences others through compliance. Compliance means, we understand, authority means authority usually associates with regulations, with the power, governments, like what we have in this country, like the Ministry of Education, for example. So the authority person should be the director. In the university terms, the authority means the registrar, the lecturers who teach the subject, or who will pass you for the exam. So that is the authority. So when we have the authority, it is advantage for us to do persuasive communication. People go along with authority figures because they hope to obtain rewards or avoid punishment. That's why I'm saying about rules and regulations. So whoever they are, they have this mindsetting that every regulation must be obeyed, must be followed. So when we are part of this so-called authority persons, when we say something, of course, they will surely follow. Not only that, again, I didn't say that this is the sole factor for success persuasive communication, but this is an advantage. So the second one is credibility. This is given by a receiver. We must understand, credibility is not something that I'm credible. I'm credible and I should be trusted. Credible influence attitudes through internalization. They are consistent with our values or attitudes. So like in Malaysia, we have ustad, we have lecturers, teachers, where they are respected people, and usually that values and attitudes are consistent with the norms developed by the society where they belong to. So in other words, that credibility you cannot pretend something that you can create temporarily for that particular purpose. So it includes three. This credibility includes three: expertise, trustworthiness, and goodwill. So let's look at one by one. Expertise again is not something that you can create. It goes with the knowledge, with the experience, with knowledge, experience, and the thoughts, how you say things. So that's why we become an expert, where people trust you, people believe you. This always get being misleading, a bit misleading, when expertise, expert, usually you refer to someone who has experiences more than the others, but actually that credibility does not go only with experience, but also knowledge, in order to be credible. Trustworthiness, again, this is given. It goes with the experience, where that they go with you. Yeah, as the longer they know you, the trust get higher. Yeah, so it is important for us to start from the beginning, yeah, in the right order. And when we do in the right order from the beginning, as they go along with that relationship, that connection, that trustworthiness will be naturally developed, and thus they will trust you. Yeah? And goodwill. So goodwill comes from you, the speaker, comes from yourself. This is the human, this is the kindness that you give to others, the passion that you give to others. Yeah. Thus, in return, they will perceive you as credible person given by a receiver. You can't simply ask them or tell them, I am kind, I am trusted, I am an honest person. You don't do that, but you have to start from the beginning in good manner. So because this will be developed as time goes by. And lastly, the third one is social attractiveness. Influence through more effective processes such as identification. Identification. Influence through more effective process as identification means you are identified. Yeah, you are identified as a person. Yeah, so identified means some people use the word popular, well-known, yeah, famous, yeah. Because why do we say this? Because social attractiveness is divided into three: likability, similarity. Yeah, usually when people, religious persons will tend to like ustad, ustada. Yeah, or the person who like entertainment, they will favor an artist, singers. Yeah. And lastly, physical attractiveness, someone who has better appearances, attractive enough, and thus that persuasive communication becomes more effective. Yeah. Again, social attractiveness is very subjective because it does not have certain meaning, certain standard to be likable. Yeah, you cannot ask person to like you unless you manage to portray certain values or certain characters, and they will like you. And this is subjective. It's not about kindness, it's not about beauty, this is not about good voices. Very subjective because individuals are different, they are unique. So this uniqueness will determine how would they prefer to someone and not the others. Similarities, how can we define similarities? Yeah, we all cover our aura, but what we like or the similarities that exist between us surely cannot be simply identified unless they mention it. Yeah, so these three should be considered. If you want to have the persuasive communication, make sure that these three exist, or these three are applied. Yeah, because time passed and very fast, you don't have much time. When you communicate with them, you don't have much time. Maybe you have 1 hour 30 minutes, so of course you cannot do everything in 30 minutes or one hour. So you take more time, like not only one appointment, you need 2-3 appointments. In the case of a salesman, when they want to do the sales, so is one appointment would not be enough. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so let's go back to the role of context here. Again, I mentioned three just now. I'm sorry, not only three. Message factors, who says it factors, content, the content. And now we look at the role of context. Context means the environment that that exists between us. Let's say shopping complex, shopping mall. So the environment is very noisy, music here and there, people, there's so many people, and definitely the focus is different. So role of context, first you look at the audience size. Yeah, how many of them? 2, 3, 200, 2000. And the way you deliver your speech definitely is different. Yeah? If you want to be likable in the context of 1000 audience, yeah, how would you do that? How would you do it? We need some speakers, you need some visual assistant, visual aids, yeah. And then communicator role. What is the role of the communicator? You as a speaker, what is your role? Is it you the leader? Is it you the teacher, or you are the mother, wife? Definitely when you are in a position as a husband, as a wife, that relationship is so different from others, because it's very intimate kind of relationship. Thus the way you communicate to them is different. So this context role will influence how we communicate, yeah, and the way, the tone of voice, and when you go for campaign, for example, you will definitely say it loudly. Because you want to make sure that everyone is participating. Yeah, there's more energy needed rather than to interpersonal communication. And lastly, the culture. So look at the culture, where the culture usually associated with races, the ethnic groups, the language. Are they English speaker? Are they Malay speaker, or what? What is the main? What is the first language? So, because when you say something, if that is similar to what they are having, means that language can be understood. Same goes with the body language that you use. Yeah, like this thumb up is number 1 in Japan, but it's good in Malaysia. So you don't use this when you want to say good in Japan, because this is important. You must be very must have this approachable attitude. Yeah, when you when you speak Arab with Arab people, definitely Arab people are so happy because they know that their language is welcome and their language can be understood. So that welcoming feeling definitely will make them happy, and whatever that you tend to you wish to say, you wish to communicate, will be considered and be accepted, inshallah. So that is basically about who says it factors. And for the conclusion, the communicator is a key feature of persuasion. It's not the listener, the speaker is the key feature. The concept of charisma, remember the first slide, the charisma comes to mind when we think about the communicator, and for good reason. Charismatic speakers have seemed to magnetize audience, attract audience, influencing attitudes in benevolent and malevolent ways. So, as I said, it's not easy, though. There are many elements or factors that you should consider if you want to have this persuasive communication, especially in about sales, in doing sales and teaching, education, where you want to pursue, you want them to be successful, in terms of their studies. So that persuasive communication, of course, is needed. So with that, I hope you understand the whole thing about these who says it factors. Inshallah, we meet up again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.